In South Dakota, we're looking forward to exploring new roads and wide open spaces. When you're ready to travel, go great places. Learn more at travelsouthdakota.com.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm an IT manager / superhero.
Pete, bad news.
What happened?
I put a very expensive latte on top of my car, drove off, and it spilled. It's bad.
How's that my problem?
Oh, my laptop was up there too.
Okay, that's why we use connection services to manage our cloud. Everything's backed up. I can access your stuff remotely. You won't miss a meeting.
I really wanted that latte, Pete.
For hardware, software, support, and empathy. For Pete's sake, connect with Connection.
And welcome back to the wonderful return of No Wall Scroll. I am here with Piss. Hello, Piss.
Hello, Trevor. It's good to be back.
It's wonderful to have you here. How? I hope your travels through the world have found you well.
I mean, they had been. I'm kind of concerned now that you phrased it like that, but no, I'm doing okay.
just gonna like wish you well, like I would some sort of like.
I did go to California for a bit.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. So
how was that?
It was fine.
I've been hearing scary things about California, both from Democrats and Republicans.
Well, yeah. See, I managed to be in one of the few parts of the state where there wasn't like the fucking fire cyclones and nightmare air quality. So that was good. And I did leave before the recall, although I did have like multiple people just be like, haha, you should like become a resident and vote in this. It's like, I'm leave. I live in New York.
Imagine caring about Gavin Newsom that much.
Yeah, well, it's like, hey, yeah, let's stop this guy. But I live in New York, where our politics are just as fucked up. So you don't really want our help. But anyway, Trevor, what's been up with you, buddy? What do your adoring fans? Because you are the star of this.
No,
I'm merely shepherding you on.
I'm barely a co-star. No, things are fine. I've been missing anime because I still find it tough to find time to watch it. And it's not just it though. I don't watch any
working
shows.
your full-time job and 2 children
and then a couple of other tiny jobs alongside. It's an exciting time.
Writing a book.
Yeah,
getting ready to promote a book.
Yeah, and I sometimes have to email people for anyone who asked. This sounds like a. I don't know if any one of these people are listening right now, but this sounds like a brag. It's not. For anyone who asked for signed copies of the book, this is like worse than I expected it to sound. I have to like email someone about that, so I'm not ignoring you, and I appreciate you asking. But no, I haven't found a lot of time, but I did. Oh, I didn't get to tell you this. I did. So, briefly after we recorded the last one, I went with my family to Maine, which is like a place that my grandmother likes to rent a house every year. Mm-hmm. And Tilly was there, and we were just chilling. And it's a pretty lazy vacation, so like she had to find some stuff to do. And one of those things was obviously like watching her iPad every so often when we let her. And so I convinced her to start a new show, and Tilly has now made it through all of K-On!
Hell yes, she fucking has. Oh, awesome. Great. Perfect.
She loved it. She really liked it.
As she should. It's a perfect show.
Yeah, I think she was really excited when she found. I didn't watch a lot of it, so I don't, because like I watched when I could, but she watches stuff like, I mean, she just goes through it. So like I wasn't even around for like half of it, but the bassist she learned was a lefty as well, and I think that made her really pleased.
I mean, all of us see ourselves in Mio. But Trevor, funny enough, this does tie into. I'm gonna be honest, I did not prepare any of the classic comings and goings of the anime world news. But the director of K-On!, Naoko Yamada, she has her first show since leaving Kyoto Animation. Came out today, and I haven't seen the Heike story, but now I will have to watch the first episode, and I'll report back.
Yeah, please. I'm really interested. Do you know what it's about, or is it?
Yeah, it's like an adaptation of Monogatari, Jesus Christ, which is like a nearly 1,000-year-old, classical tale.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know if okay.
And it is from Science Saru, the studio that Yuasa is associated with. Oh wait, shit. Yeah. No. Also, the other new thing is Trevor. There is the Morami sequel book through the Tatami Galaxy is getting an adaptation. So that's
obviously that's
going to be fun. It is the director Shingo Natsume. He's like Sunny Boy is the thing that he's currently working on. Which
okay, I've heard people say good things about that.
Sunny Boy looks really cool, and there's a lot of like visually interesting stuff. The plot's kind of whatever to me, but when the plot is being written by Morami, and he doesn't that solves that issue. You just put Ozu on the screen, and I get really happy.
So this is a weird thing. I used the bookmark tweet function twice. Oh no! The one was an accident because I accidentally bookmarked this, and I thought it was like too dumb not to keep bookmarked. Was someone responding to Chris Hayes asking, "Has there ever been a player as great in any sport as Harden who is as little fun to watch?" And someone responded with Pete Sampras, Eddie Murray, Greg Maddis, and Curtis Martin. And I was just unbelievably appalled by that list of people being like boring to watch.
There we go.
Very weird. But that was the one. And the other one is Science Saru's new project.
Hell yes. I was so excited. Baseball and Science Saru, the Trevor Strunk story.
I was like so amped to see that was out there. Like I just bookmarked it because I was like, I don't ever want to forget this is happening.
It'll be great. We'll rent out a theater. It'll be fun.
I do have a theater I can rent out near here. There's a local theater that does it for like cheap.
There we go.
If you want to travel to Pennsylvania, which I mean,
I love Bucks County. I love Bucks County more than life itself. But
there's a lot to love.
There's there are new travel advisories. I think it's just we gotta watch out for that.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, no, of course. I actually, it looks like I have to finalize things, but this is as good a place to say it as any. It looks like I may be in New York doing a show at a place that they just ahead of time. I know if you live in New York, this is normal to you because you don't live where I live, where people get real mad and whatever, say they're gonna kill the mayor, but like it's a vaccine mandated, like you have to show your card and stuff like that, but we don't do that around here because people get very upset.
Excelsior Pass, please.
Is that what it's called?
The app version, because like if you don't want to have your like vaccine card, you just put your information in the app, and if you got vaccinated in New York, it's in my iPhone Apple Wallet.
Interesting. Yeah, they don't give us those things out in the territory, so we just have all we have is a literally the paper, which I mean, everyone knows what that's like. But so yeah, I'll probably be doing a show. I don't want to say who the guest is yet because I haven't I've confirmed it with the guest, but I haven't signed the contract with the place yet. So I just don't want to screw it up. But it'll be really fun. I think it'll be someone people aren't necessarily expecting, but frequent guest. But yeah, so that'll be fun, and start at the end of October.
Yeah.
I haven't been to New York, I think, since the pandemic, so that'll be cool.
Well, we'll welcome you back. I'll show you. We'll get food. We'll have a good time. We'll record a bunch of TikToks.
Finally, the career I've always dreamed of will come true. We'll be TikTok stars.
Oh yeah, I guess the other show-related anime stuff that I'm just remembering from the past week or so is that Funimation will be bringing Arya to its technically still working streaming service. So the Funimation web player has gotten even worse. So like last year they introduced like this really overly large font that was just like not great. And like the thing is like on the iPad, and I imagine other like tablets is still fine, but the new thing is that like they've gone back to a much smaller font, but now you either have to have like the full like line background, not individual letters have the background, or like no background at all. So it's like,
No.
gang, like you either have yellow with the black like letter borders, or you do white with the black letter. How is this so fucking hard, man?
I like it is honestly like it's a masterclass watching Funimation screw up their app.
It's
I've never seen anything like it.
You won. You are you're becoming the monopoly. Like, why are you doing this? But anyway, yeah, all of Aria. Or I don't think the most recent movie, but
okay. I saw you tweeting something about
also.
They're releasing the manga, is that right?
Yes. Tokyo Pop is putting out all 9 of the volumes of the manga, which like I have the first 3, and I just have to bite the bullet and buy those, or buy all 9 because they're selling them as a set. But yeah, it's only like 900 copies. But when the alternative is spending like $900 from resellers, you know.
Seems like the choice has been made for you there. But that was cool to see too. Yeah, I love seeing the Arya representation.
Yeah, we will be returning to the Iyashiki soon.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I love it.
But not before.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how much I missed Katana Gatari. I realized, so like I will say it in our break, I thought about a couple shows we did. I thought about and you won't believe me because of where it sat on the list that constantly haunts me. But I thought a lot about Ping Pong and more about.
I did rewatch Ping Pong during our break, and you know what's still really fucking good? Ping Pong.
God, yeah, no, actually, when I was thinking about it again, I was like, I think like a rewatch of that would even make it better for me at this point. But like that, and also, I also was thinking about. The Night is Young, Walk On Girl, and just generally that series in general. Like I that and Kyoso
Giga. There we go.
Kyoso Giga. Sorry, I was gonna say Kyoto Ryu because of this show. No, yeah, Kyoso Giga.
I mean, Kodo could probably master it pretty fast.
100%.
I mean, it's probably a bit too defensive for her to enjoy, but.
That's like the one like Battle of the Titans like Web 1.0 who would win this vote on our webpage thing that I'm interested in.
That is
pretty good.
Once the list is big enough, we'll have Twitter loves brackets, right? So we'll just do we'll do our version of power scaling.
Great. No, that's good. That's great. And if I know anything about brackets, it instantly makes you super popular with everyone.
Yeah. No, it's just generally, it's a really good vibes. Everyone feels really good about the person running it. There's
no one gets upset.
No one ever gets really bitter, but it's fine.
But yeah, no, those were the 2. I wasn't thinking about Arya, but like honestly, when I saw those screenshots, it is like. I'm perpetually sort of pleased at the shows you've chosen because like I don't think there are any I don't like look back on kind of every so often and think about fondly. Like I was reading a book called like something like This Is the Jazz Man or something. I think it was written by someone who like his family was in jazz or something, but it's just like famous jazz people to basically to the tune of like a famous nursery rhyme, and it's it's like Louis Armstrong and Charlie Bird and stuff like that. But like I was thinking about it and I was like, ooh, I wonder if Bill Withers is in this. Oh,
there we go. Yeah,
who else likes Bill Withers?
Back to the beginning. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, we'll get some fucking garbage ready then. Just really make it as bad as possible for these next few shows. But
I can't wait.
But first we got to finish out Katana Gatari, and by doing so, starting with episode 5, Aegis of the Resentment. And because we're back, I do still have to talk about some people. So one of the key animators is Sudo Tomonori, did the key animation, also the animation director for the Demon Slayer movie, which I'm sure in our intro alone has made another like 5 million yen. The Blu-ray for that got announced recently, and because that's like the Demon Slayer show Blu-ray is like $250. I was like, not even gonna look at the date or the price.
Wow.
But also like the character designer and animation director for Garden of Sinners, and UFO Tables, Fate. So we might do Garden of Sinners at some point. That's good. The Saikana OVA, which is funny to me and me only, and again to keep it on the pulse, the Tales of Symphonia show.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a Tales of Symphonia show.
Oh yeah, there's both Tales anime and Trails animes, you know, as they must always be in competition.
Of course. I mean, I think like Trails is interesting that there's an anime. I guess it's like an adaptation that makes sense, but there's so much in them that I can't. I think adding.
I've not watched any, but I think they're only. Although I mainly know about it because I used it as a way to put Estelle as one of my favorite characters on my Annie list profile. So as one does, you'll understand this one day, Trevor.
I'm really glad that you used your power for good there.
Yeah,
that was really smart.
Yeah.
But like the Trails games seem like I've only ever played Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Arise looks interesting. I might try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna next time when I finish all the Trails games, I do plan on playing Berseria because enough people have been like, "Yo, you really like Berserk? Play this." So.
Berseria looks like super. That was I bought maybe the reissue or like the whatever of Vesperia when it was like $10, and I know that's the one you're supposed to play, but I remember. Like Berseria came in some pack that I bought at one point, and like it seems so unique. Like it seems like really a different take on those games. So,
this woman's really angry, and again, people are just like, yeah, it's like Berserk. I'm like, great, awesome, let's fucking go. I still revenge is awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So.
But no, those like what I was going to say was those games seem like something that could support an anime adaptation. Like there's enough unsaid, I guess, like about the characters, and they're sort of interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad that you have like high hopes for them because I'm pretty sure they're dog shit.
I'm sure.
I think some people like the Symphonia show, but I know the Trails ones are like, nah, don't, not even as a bit, dude. Just don't. Just don't.
Wow. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Kimiya Ryosuke did more of the key animation, also key animation for Steins Gate. For the popular crowd, the animation director on Re:Zero, which those episodes are long, so there's a lot of fucking animation to be directed. They did the key animation on Future Show for us, Girls Last Tour. As well as the infamous opening. You'll see it. The Gundam 00 movie, which the less said about, the better.
Oh, no.
Inuyasha, the Monogatari franchise, and their first job in anime, at least that they were credited for, was doing in-betweens on Alien 9, which we won't do, but is that Alien 9 still cool? That's how you know exactly when I started going on the internet is Alien 9 is a cool, fun time.
Okay. All right, great.
But
I don't know exactly what that means, whether or not that means that it is not a cool, fun time anymore, or it dates you.
Oh, it's really good. I mean, it's not a fun. It's not a fun time. It's sad, but it's cathartic.
Listen, sad things are fun too. I think I saw a thread on that at one point.
You know what else is good, Trevor? Blue Seed Beyond, which Hyodo Masaru did key animation on.
There's a second series. This is great.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a full series. It's like a short of. Let's see. Hold on. Blue Seed Beyond. I have watched and I have Blue Seed Beyond on one of my hard drives, but I want to say it's like 13. Okay, yeah, 3 episodes. So
okay,
yeah,
all right, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's good to know for when
we get
I'm on my deathbed and all I care to watch is Blue Seed, like a Orson Welles moment.
But they also worked on Hunter x Hunter 99, Martian Successor, Nadesico, Die Guard, and a bunch of other shit that is interesting to me. And also future No Cartridge show, Welcome to the NHK, their final episode. And then into characters. Hite is Tomatsu Haruka, Saiki Kuswa from Saiki K, Cure Fortune from Precure, baby. Marimaya from Samurai Flamenco. A fucking great show. She does one of the upcoming endings in Katana Katari and is 02 and Darling in the Franxx. Less said about that, the better. Let's focus on the ending for this episode because it is by Yukari Tamura, which you will, of course, remember is Tagame, Trevor. And how did you like Tagame singing her heart out?
I liked it a lot. It was honestly like more emotionally affecting than I would have thought for like a Torch song.
And now you understand. Now you understand, Trevor.
Oh, I get it. Honestly, like
it's because it was Tagame.
At the like it's tough not to. I say this having seen people in my mentions who have said when I posted screenshots of this in my menchies, who have said after
the lessers, the proles.
I know, yeah. No, I say that because I can't remember who said it. But
Yeah.
I would identify you if I remembered, even though this is negative. I've seen people say that they can't watch the show because they like the sword himbo, but can't stand the annoying lady.
This has come up before. Yeah, I don't.
Has it? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's important to remind ourselves that, like, no, you can't.
These people exist. You know,
they're both like Shichika's great, Tagame is great. They're great together. You know,
but it's important. Like, yeah, they're both. Yeah, they complement each other. But I don't know how you could watch the
literal girl boss and male wife.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That is, it's for the culture.
I don't know how you can't watch the way that this episode ends, which we'll talk about, but like, and not be really into Tagame, like be like, this is just like a person that I want on my side. Just the best. That explains a lot as to why that song felt like much more emotionally resonant than I expected.
See, we're back on the Trevor growth arc, folks. And,
there it is. I'm learning people can do multiple things.
One day, one of us will try to do that. But
good Lord,
where do you want to start? Because a peek behind the curtain, folks. I did write these notes my notes originally a month ago, so and I did not think to look them over before the episode. So Trevor, help us out here.
Well, so what I liked about this episode was the way that so the last episode before this one was the one that took place on the island.
Yes,
with Shichika's sister, just like murdering a bunch of Madi
as
soldiers.
The greatest sword fight of all time occurs off screen.
Right? Yeah. And what I liked about that, though, what I liked about the way this one recapped that, right? Like you have these two awful things, not awful things, but like awful in the sense of like a like I can barely bear to watch this happen. Like it's so intense kind of way with the sister, like very Nanami. Cool, but very Nanami, like very, very troubling. Yes. But very good. As we said on that show, I think she's basically just like she just is like saying I'm becoming the Joker is now old hat, but she actually just did. Like she just said I'm the Joker of this show, and
I like thank you for poisoning me. I don't like, but by the way, I've been getting poisoned since I was a child, so I can poison you now though, so it's fine.
So good. But the way that the episode recaps it is basically being like, we meet this sort of mysterious woman who clearly is sort of a problem, as we learn later, but we don't know much about her yet. But she's asking for an update from one of the Maniwa soldiers, and the Maniwa soldier says, this is all kind of going down. This is not like she's getting a bunch of swords, and the guy she's with is very good at getting swords too. And so she says, "Oh, she's got the luck of the devil. This is just like her." And they explain like, in fact, like she's so lucky this guy beat the legendary swordsman. And it's exactly the same sort of like recap we got before, where it's just still pictures.
Yeah,
it's lens flares and stuff. It's very, very disrespectful for the viewer, and I love it.
Yeah. No, it's again, it just we're back. We're having good styles. Like, yeah, there's that. I really like when Tagame gets embarrassed about the Cheerio, we get like the most like classical shoujo, just like her face at an angle with the like overly lit up background. She's not embarrassed. She's never been embarrassed. She's gonna go run around the mountain though. It's fine. I liked like the deft maneuver they had turning the thing, so in the scene where she realizes that she's been misusing Cheerio, Shichika says like, "Oh, I knew." Like, I just wanted to support you though.
Yeah, and then later on, she's like, "Why didn't you say anything?" At the very end of the episode, and he's like, "Oh, well, you were so confident. I thought it must be right." It's like, man, turning that around into a compliment, that is just like.
Well, and
do it, male wife.
Yeah, and it's like, well, if since you supported me, I guess I'll stick with Cheerio.
Love it.
That's
I
fine.
love it.
That's fine. Yeah.
That was so good. So like emotionally like correct. Yeah, no, that like this was an episode where I really felt like, I mean, actually in the departure from the last one, which I still loved, but like this episode really reminded me of the early episodes in that like I was watching it and thinking like, man, they are telling me a ton of information, but it still feels like a lot is happening, not just being told to me.
Yeah, it's like, and like it's a very good job of feeling like, okay, this isn't just expositioning happening to the viewer. This is still a conversation.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and like if there ever has to be like exposition that doesn't happen in the conversation, it's always within like an internal monologue, and that is always like in the character's voice. So it never feels artificial in the way that I think a lot of shows with heavy plot and I anime and cartoons get the bulk of this critique, but I think it's very true and perhaps more true of prestige television. But like where people will just like explain what's going on in the show for like 5 minutes at a
the
time.
walk and talk, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. It's very Aaron Sorkin, but in this, like, it really is almost like novelistic, and that, I mean, I guess it's based on a light novel, so that makes sense. But it's like it's novelistic in the sense that everything that's happening is either an in-character conversation or literally something someone's saying. So it feels so natural.
Oh yeah. No, it really has that natural feeling, and then when juxtaposed with fucking Monty Wanting Man, just like, listen, I'm gonna rip off my arm real quick, just to prove that I'm not gonna betray you. I'm into
so
it.
Weird.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot because there was no like, it wasn't like, oh no, don't do that. That's horrible. And he's just like, no, please, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? Come on. But I do have to tell you about Cheerio, though. Yeah, it does mean goodbye in a foreign language.
I think you mean chest.
Yeah. Which actually, no, like, and the chest thing coming like back around as to like why Pirate Man loves her. It's like, oh, you remind me of my sister. And she, like, when we were on the boat, she would say, it's like, this is good. You've plotted this out effectively.
You looks like you considered your plotting before this happened.
Yeah.
No, and like there are a number of moments where exposition happens between different characters, and they're still pulled off. I mean, like Togame is always involved, but like the pirate has his own voice, and obviously the Maniwani has his own voice, and like all of these characters are just like saying their stories, but it feels like you're sort of watching the actual like action of the story itself too.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Like I was surprised by the end that there was only like 2 battles in this episode. It feels like many more.
Yeah. There's and it's really only like 1.5 because I don't know if the
first battle.
the first battle really counts.
Not really. No,
yeah, it's just like, hey, like, do you want to beat my ass? Let's go. I don't need this arm. Like, come on, let me tear it off. That's even let's make it 2 because there's also the half battle at the beginning where he just beats the guy with the big sword. Yeah. Where it just shatters it. Yeah. Oh yeah, because when they're
armor
like
guy.
Yeah, because he has the I am the strongest in Japan, which actually is like bad because it takes us forever to get anywhere now because everyone can't stop challenging us. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm an IT manager / superhero.
Pete, bad news.
What happened?
I put a very expensive latte on top of my car, drove off, and it spilled. It's bad.
How's that my problem?
Oh, my laptop was up there too.
Okay, that's why we use connection services to manage our cloud. Everything's backed up. I can access your stuff remotely. You won't miss a meeting.
I really wanted that latte, Pete.
For hardware, software, support, and empathy. For Pete's sake, connect with Connection.
The level of connection you feel in your home dramatically influences your experiences there. Get the tools to control that connection in your communities with the first multifamily platform that unifies management and resident experiences to create smart apartments. Talk to a RealPage consultant today to see how your properties can meet the future of multifamily with the Smart Building Suite.
Yeah, no, it was a sort of classic kind of one, but I liked the reveal of, like this guy is like, it's not the person who has the who's doing like who has the sword basically is not the person you think it is. Like you think it's this guy with like the big sword who's fighting the armor guy. It's the armor guy that has the big sword.
Well, yeah, like at the beginning we got the like it's the God, what is it called again? Sorry,
Santo.
Like should have the Zokoto.
Okay.
But it's like, this is like defense versus defense. But it's like, like, well, I guess like, this big broadsword, it can probably take a hit. And it's like, no, this like full on armor, like the fucking Chivalry 2 out now. This is the sword.
Like yeah, exactly.
It's like, don't act surprised when this shirtless man is a sword himself. Like the rules went out the window a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a good way of doing. It was a good way of like drawing a parallel to Shichika without like doing something stupid like, oh, this is a person who only uses swords and can't use his body. Like, just like trying too hard. This was a really good one of being like, it's like, this is Shichika because like he does the same thing except like it involves like a bunch of technology basically. Not technology, but like in the sense, but like it's not just his body; it's something that adorns him as well.
Yes.
That was cool. And I loved. I remembered loving it then, and I liked it again now. I like that the motivation in this episode is that the pirate loves Togame so much.
Yeah, well, yeah, like, and yeah, it's really good, especially like the bathhouse scene deals with like Togame's trust issues, and then dealing into that, it's like, oh, I guess I gotta like rethink some things. But then as soon as Asakura is like, Togame, from the moment I saw you, you reminded me of my dead sister, which is why I love you.
Got some stuff to work out.
Yeah, got listen, I'm wearing a mask like Kyrie Irving. This is not a COVID thing. It's a metaphorical mask. So
okay.
Actually, yeah, sorry. Did you see that?
Oh, I did.
Okay, yeah.
I liked it. It was funny that like people responded to it instead of just thinking like, well, this is just something that exists now. It's basically perfect as it is. Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's just let it.
I mean,
let's let the thing happen.
I mean, to be fair, like when he's like, oh yeah, like if you try to trade me, I will just retire. That king shit. Like honestly, nothing but respect for that. And then the follow up's great. But sorry. Anyways, so yeah, like Asakura said that like. We do see Shichika learn what jealousy is because he is now experiencing it, and it's very cute. It's very effective. We need them to win.
Yeah, and like I like about this, and it plays into the end of the episode too. But like I like how him learning about jealousy is not just him being like, oh, like this is what it means to like care about Togame. It really is also about like, okay, so like. What essentially am I? Like if I could think about myself as a person, what am I? Like it is more about like, okay, what am I doing here? Like he has that moment like in the battle itself where he's like, yeah, like maybe he's the better sword, and if he is, should I just not do it? Like maybe I should quit.
And then Togame is just like, look, you motherfucker, I need you to beat this man's ass.
Yeah, like are you thinking
suplex him right now?
You stupid man.
Can we throw him in the water? That was my plan. Like, let's do this.
I love how the cartoon images of drowning him in his suit of armor and then baking him alive.
Yep.
Certainly, you've thought about this.
It's like, it's just like like I've been thinking for about 5 minutes, and here's my death plan. Let's just
here's a rough draft.
Are you familiar with a shrimp boil or a crab boil rather? Like we're doing that.
I liked she's like he sort of like chokes back like horror when she says that, but then like she's clearly like she's like, oh well yeah, like we can get the armor back, like we just have to attach a strong enough chain to it. I realize you might have some concerns, but
we can swim here. It's fine. We're in a port town.
No, it's excellent. Like it's I feel like this episode really has a lot of nice and like again, this is something that is in every episode, but like this particular one has some really nice just character interaction beats, like where you get to see like two of the people act like basically like fully fleshed out people. Which is cool because obviously like in a I don't know, in an anime like that deals with sort of like a sort of the weak theme, easy enough not to include it, right? Like I don't have an example of one that doesn't, but like as thinking about writing it as a writer of it, I'm sure like you'd be like, well, I don't know if we really need that much like character development.
We can coast. We got this suit of armor.
Every week we'll introduce a new sword that's slightly worse or slightly better. And it just
we got this new. Well, yeah, and like, I think the Maniwani stuff is like a good way of introducing that, because like the first 3 episodes is like, okay, there's gonna be like a new Maniwani, but like episode 4 is the fucking squad and alluding to like the bit of like their hierarchy and structure, and in this one it just like immediately comes like, hey, wanna like team up again? Like we just want like one sword and then we can be it's just like a good way of building up the structure to then like mess around with.
Exactly. No, I agree. I think like there's a really easy way to write the story around and you're right, like around the Maniwa, like okay, the 12 Maniwa, 12 swords, like this is great. We got everything we need. And to sort of do it differently, like to be like no, we're going to complicate it is I mean it's much more fun to watch, and it brings around stuff like you get the same characters in the same space for so long that they have to learn how to talk to each other. So I can't wait for the Joss Whedon
Jesus Christ
revamp of this. Like I feel like it's gonna be way Buffy.
The live action Netflix that will come out in 2030.
I very much appreciated your commentary. It's not, you weren't the only person saying it, but you were the person I saw saying it about the Cowboy Bebop movie, and that like you never have to think about it.
Yeah, like live action Gundam, live action Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, yeah, these pictures look dumb, and I'm gonna say that once and just
and it
go back
helped
to not
a lot.
caring.
Like I wasn't actually like mad about the Cowboy Bebop movie.
You were not talking to your therapist about how it was, actually actively harming your family dynamic.
Fortunately, I wasn't. This time around, it does happen with certain things, certain films and attacks on my own childhood. That
the Philadelphia Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles are flying high. There's no way they'll ever disappoint me. But yeah, no, exactly. Those things caused me to be a bad father. But but I was like, you know what? I don't have to. And then I realized like someone posted something about it, like some sort of cosplayer or something, and they were like, why isn't this the design? And it just happened to make it onto my timeline, and I was like, oh, yeah, that thing's coming out. That's weird. I haven't thought about that in months. Just like a sudden light goes on over my head. I was like, I guess they were right.
It's like, oh, the passage of time. That's fucked up. I don't like that.
Like, who knew?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. This like back to this. I guess like it's a really like in terms of like the pieces of the show. Like it's not the best episode of like X, Y, or Z in a lot of ways. I don't know if it will be by the end or not. But like there are like beats in the other ones where like okay, I liked this character interaction like on its own the best in the series, or I liked this like the way that like in the 3rd episode with the female pirate or the female bandit, like I thought that like that as like someone that is hard to be an enemy of was like like this is the most sort of effective, like emotionally effective enemy to me, like things like that. But as just like a combination of what the show does, like I think it's very, very cool in that like I don't know, like it does everything that I like about the show, and it just does it like extremely well. Like the fight at the end is a masterfully fun fight to watch. Like it's so good.
I mean, how many sword fights will you watch that end with one guy picking up the other guy and just throwing him on the ground?
I loved the pirate of all people being like, "This isn't swordsmanship."
It's great. It's so fucking.
It's excellent. It's the silliest thing in the world. Like the way that he like Shichika is out of ideas because he can't use his armor.
Yeah, the armor piercing that we has been built up. Like, of course, it wouldn't actually work, right? But just the way that it's like, well, I guess I'll go back to being a little monkey man. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I like how basically like at any given point, like whether because like he is just oblivious to the idea of sexual attraction, or oblivious to the idea of sexual attraction to Togame, who he also loves, or because like he just is like he can't be bothered to think about a body that he has.
Yeah.
It's funny that like at any given point, Togame just has to remind Shichika to be embodied. Like,
yep.
Hey, you have a body. Like, use that.
Like, hey, hello, my shut-in husband. Just like remember how this all works.
Have you noticed that you're stronger? No, I haven't noticed. I mean, literally, I have had that conversation, not about getting stronger, but like when I'm trying like a diet or something, I've had this conversation with Kristen when it works, where she goes, "I think you're getting thinner," and I go, "I have literally not noticed. I don't know. I don't understand."
Yeah, no. Like as somebody who, I'm in a good place now, but as you know, really just finds new and interesting ways to demolish my body in both directions. Sometimes I am definitely the last person to notice. But
it is odd, right?
Yeah. But also because we now know that Nanami is, stronger than God, it does make sense as to like not only is Shichika isolated, his sister, though while as we know incredibly fragile, is way more good, the most powerful living being. So
yeah, he's never had to strategize anything. That allowed. I like that. That's a really good point because like it's that kind of like inversion that allows like him to be a fun like. Kind of like I'm just kind of a sword dummy.
I'm a funny big guy.
Yeah, and like it allows that to actually exist. Like instead of being like, oh yeah, this is just a conceit. This person could never exist in real life. Like Katana Gatari is like, no, let's try and figure out a way that this person could actually be cultivated. Like I'd like to see how that would work.
I mean, massive same on my end.
Yeah.
Let's see what. What do you think of Princess Hite? Your real introduction to her.
Yeah, I'm interested in her. I'm curious to see how they'll handle the conflict with her because she's the first person that seems like, I mean, not the first person because they did that with the world's greatest swordsman that they fought off camera.
Sabi Hakue, baby. Yep. We building that up.
And then never again. except
he's dead. It's hard to.
Yeah.
You can't fight the dead.
You can't bring him back.
Yeah.
But we've only been told he's dead though. We only have. We didn't see.
The unreliable narrator. The strong fan theory. Will say.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like she seems like the first kind of villain that I'm like they have to do some sort of like extended thing where Shichike struggles against her or something like that. And I don't necessarily
Butler is
know
wearing
how that's
a mask. So
well, and as I've learned from learning more about Toho, if you have a butler or a maid, you're extraordinarily powerful.
Exactly. Yeah, that is one of the key takeaways from the Toho franchise.
Yeah, it's a pro-maid propaganda. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. Like I'm interested in seeing the way that they'll introduce like a bad guy, so to speak, because like it doesn't seem there's not really and I don't say this as a negative. It's honestly like one of the more interesting parts of the show, but like which is to say like I really really like it. There's no clear sense of like what counts as morally good or bad in this universe. Like it feels like you could argue that like there are people who have the swords that have better intentions than Togame or worse intentions, but at no point do I really like want to be like, well, I really need to figure out who has the right intentions. It's always just like, well, I hope Togame gets all the swords.
I mean, we need Togame to get all the swords, but if you understand that like the sword poison to be a stand-in for power, Trevor, you'll understand that it's a critique of hierarchies.
I take it back. I know exactly how this is going to play out.
If you were using the reader I had selected, which
I didn't appreciate how many works by Plato it was having me read.
Listen, I try my best. I go.
No, you know what? And you did a great job. I'm sorry to suggest otherwise. Yeah. The reader is available at all good bookstores. $75.99.
Yeah. Or $150 if you want a JSTOR. That's the primary.
Our JSTOR heads out there know what we mean. But yeah, no, I think like, that is true. Like it's definitely like joking aside, it is definitely a critique of like hierarchy in the sense of like, having one big master of something or whatever. But like at the same point, like we understand that the shogunate is collecting these swords. Maybe not. I am willing to be like I understand there's a bit of
the faceless shogunate. Yeah.
That may not happen, but that may not be.
I'm gonna say
on Tagame's part.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tagame not a bad guy. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say Tagame not bad.
So yeah, that's the thing, right? Like it's not. There's nothing like we know that she and Chichika have like his dad killed her dad in the revolution, like it or the rebellion, excuse me. Like there's all these complex kind of like like the dynamics and stuff, but the show never really like cares about you picking like who do you support, which I mean is more of just like again like a prestige TV kind of thing that I'm used to, from watching like dumb TV a lot. But like it doesn't really care for you to have an opinion on like who was right, Chichika's father or Tagame's father, nor is it like all that interested in you thinking anything else other than I hope Tagame and Chichika get all the swords because no one else should have the swords because I those are the people I like.
Yes.
So I'm interested in how they're going to like construct an evil character, like someone who's sort of like objectively not to be liked. I may have answered my own question.
Nanami Yasuri is Chichika's elder sister. She's a sickly girl who's babied by him. You did call her the Joker earlier, Trevor.
How can you? How? No, she's evil, but she's certainly very likable.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, she is sympathetic.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very interested in how they'll use her because she. Not Nanami, but
Hita.
I know how they'll use her to the best possible ends.
Yeah.
But no, how they'll use the princess
Hite and the butler.
Thank you, Hite. I'm very interested to see how they'll use her because she's not really like any other character we've seen so far.
Yeah, she's blonde. She's a white woman.
Yeah, that's true. Typically, we don't get blonde; we get gray.
Yeah,
which is good too.
Yeah, but let's see. Anything else from this episode you wanna speak on?
I liked. So the one thing I thought was very funny was the narrator telling us that the pirate who Chichika defeats by picking up instead of has sent them by way of revenge on a giant detour to the coldest part of Japan.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's because they're like, oh, I guess he didn't want to see us off. Like, oh, that's too bad. It's like, nah, he was too busy making sure you were going to the fucking frozen tundras.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on.
And Tagame very, very kindly says, I don't like to give someone false hope. Like I feel like that would be leading him on, and you know what, it's over between me and him.
I mean, it never started even.
Right. Yeah. Though they really treat it like a breakup, which I think is great. But yeah, like the way that happens, and then in the preview for the next episode, it's like, hey, wait, this isn't where I was supposed to go. It's freezing here.
It's like, oh God, I don't have a coat. Like Chichika doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, I really a masterclass in just like a little throwaway joke becoming like much funnier than it would be if you were just like, oh, you just ended up in the wrong place because the pirate's mad at you.
Yeah, the next episode previews continue to be a fun time for all.
Extremely strong. Yeah, I gotta say. No, I liked that, and I liked. I don't know. Like I thought the again, like the way the fight ends with like her reminding him that like he himself is like the important part of what like she doesn't have him there because like she's like obsessed with having a sword. She likes having him there because she likes having him there, right? Like trusts him.
Which like when they're at the hot springs in the beginning, it's like, oh, the like protect yourself isn't going to be the hardest one. So like that's great. I'm happy for you. Which obviously is how she's trying to communicate. Like, yeah, I do like your goofy ass.
Right. Exactly.
Now, drink this sake so you don't think about what I just said.
How dare you refuse sake for me? But yeah, like it's
actually, Chichika drinking the sake like a fucking cat is really funny. Just like licking it. Yeah.
The grossest possible look on his face, and then the very funny battle of pushing it back and forth between the two of them to see who will drink the sake.
We love to see it.
It's absolutely the best. But yeah, I think like, that kind of like reminder of like, yeah, like this is the reason, like, we're here is because like, the reason I'm here is because like, I believe in you, buddy. And like that along with, hey, like, don't forget that like, I don't trust just anyone. Like this guy doesn't even show his face to the one he loves. How am I supposed to ever believe in him? Like it's a nice sort of like subtle romance subplot that I think they do a really good job with.
Yeah.
Also, I like all the armor guy's styles at the end. I like that he has so many.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, style. Listen, we just need to get this out of the way real quick. I wrote all of these down, so I gotta have him say them. And if you thought Chichika was the only one that could say some shit, we're here to prove you wrong.
I love it. I like how I also like the subtle visual joke of every single style except Blade Gulls being effectively just the same thing.
Yep. No, it's just like, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, really, really good. So yeah, anything that we missed?
I don't think so. I think we did a good job.
I like to think we did a good job.
Yeah.
Too.
I really like the location where they like had their duels. Like, no, we need to make some fucking money out of this, though. We need to like make me look good, but also if we hold it here, more people can watch, and thus we can make more money. So
yeah, I like that a lot. Like I liked how she was like, "Are you turning Shichika into like a sideshow?" And he's like, "Oh, it's probably worth it, right?"
Yeah, I was like, I mean, are you not? Like, come on.
Kind of a weird choice not to use every avenue you have, but that's fine. That was good, and like a nice sort of like like that conversation was good because to go off on a unneeded tangent, like the way people talk about movies now as like they need to have some sort of like political verisimilitude or whatever, like it's like part and parcel with how people talked about the Star Wars prequels now, where they're just like, oh yeah, they were good because they explained like the Senate and stuff. Like that was so complicated, but only if they could nail it down. And like it's this misunderstanding that like actually, while it's fun to see the levers of power and stuff like that in shows, it's a lot like Lukács says of Tolstoy, that like he just shows like one element of the whole thing and shows it bare, right?
Yeah,
like this is the whole thing where it's like, we don't get a long, detailed look at like how the pirate senate works. Like we get, oh yeah, like I run this town and private fights aren't allowed. And also, man, I thought like if anyone ever came here from the shogunate, I would behead them instantly. But I guess you proved me wrong. Like that, it's like, okay, the shogunate and the pirates don't get along. The shogunate can't decriminalize pirates, as Tagame says. And this guy runs this town with an iron fist. It's like, okay, that's all I needed. And like, it makes it infinitely more interesting, but like, there really doesn't need to be any more detail than that.
We love to see it. We love to see it, folks.
We love to see it. Well, all right. Yeah. So,
I love being on the only Katakana Gatari episode 5 podcast to reference Lukács. We're doing well.
I feel like that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
That's one of
your favorite Hungarian, I believe.
Yeah, gotta be. Big competition. Sorry for all the Hungarians who lost.
There
has to be winners and there has to be losers. That's I guess. I don't know. Been reading a lot of weird philosophers I shouldn't be reading.
You can't. You're not a big enough football fan yet to really appreciate what Puskás did. For the center forward position. I'm
getting there. I learned the other day that an NBA player's son started for not a Bundesliga team, but I don't think it was the EPL, but it was some sort of like European football league.
You're learning.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Thanks. Thanks. I'll get to understanding enough to say, wow, when something big happens at a match at some point.
It's like, wow, this Holland guy still looks really funny. It's like, yes, Trevor. Yes, he does. It's great.
He sure does. No, yeah. But yeah, no. I'm proud that we finished this one, and we worked
we're
Lukács
back,
in,
folks.
We're back. I'm honestly, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, anything you'd like to recommend to the listeners before we run out? Piss, anything happening or
Patreon.com/no cartridge, folks.
You know what? I have to agree with you. That is one underrated site. Lots of good stuff there. Lots of good stuff to come once I work out my next version of a plan for that site. But yeah, no, it's good. There's like, despite my my own sort of self recrimination, there's like a lot of material on there, so you won't get bored. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's good. I think I encourage people to I don't know, to just like learn a little more about some like
Trevor Strunk facts.
Oh yeah, no, don't learn those. No, like media or anything that you didn't know about. Like I found like a lot of value and like joy in watching, sadness too, I guess, but like watching people who like I wasn't following or wasn't understanding a while ago, like talk about the last issue of Berserk coming out and people like kind of like dealing with their thoughts on that. Like it's cool watching people like work through interesting stuff about a cultural medium they like. Like I feel like it's very easy to be like extremely cynical. I certainly fall prey to that a lot, and it's like a lot nicer to just like see people engage earnestly about something they care about. So if you can make that happen, I fully recommend it.
Yeah. No, sorry, you started talking about the Berserk. I legitimately got emotional thinking about
I tried not to bring it up when we were actually doing the episode because I thought that might happen. Not because obviously there's all the Mira's past and studio got like I don't know what's going to happen to because it's like he set up that company to pay his assistants and like give them full-time jobs and stuff. So like who knows what's happening there now and stuff, but like the actual ending of Berserk itself, the final panel, like goddamn. But anyway. So read Berserk. Like buy the fucking Berserk phone books. It's incredible. Those books are so cool.
I have 7 of them.
I desperately want to get them, and I just need to find a way to convince my wife that we need 7 phone books of Berserk in the office.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the thing. Like, you get the 7 because I mean they're gonna make a few more at least.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's. They look so good. I don't know. In coming back to No Wall Scroll, I want to encourage people again to just like enter into doing something that you like, not from an irony standpoint, but just from like finding good stuff in it, because probably it's there.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be back, Trevor. I'll talk to you
it's good to
next week.
Talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to No Cartridge. If you'd like to support us further, please consider going to patreon.com/NoCartridge or for a one-time donation, paypal.me/Hegelbon, Hegelbon. It's really, really helpful for all of us to be able to support the many people who make the show, myself included, but also our producers and various co-hosts and writers and artists. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, any of those things that would let other people get the quality video game analysis that you've grown accustomed to.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm an IT manager / superhero.
Pete, bad news.
What happened?
I put a very expensive latte on top of my car, drove off, and it spilled. It's bad.
How's that my problem?
Oh, My laptop was up there too.
Okay, that's why we use connection services to manage our cloud. Everything's backed up. I can access your stuff remotely. You won't miss a meeting.
I really wanted that latte, Pete.
For hardware, software, support, and empathy. For Pete's sake, connect with Connection.
The level of connection you feel in your home dramatically influences your experiences there. Get the tools to control that connection in your communities with the first multifamily platform that unifies management and resident experiences to create smart apartments. Talk to a RealPage consultant today to see how your properties can meet the future of multifamily with the Smart Building Suite.